Hi, Lori.
Hi, Nicole.
So I heard you have lots of really cool things for me to look at today. I'm super excited
Oh,
about it.
oh well, hopefully I haven't overpromised. Uh, I was really excited when we heard about the trinket or treasure sale
Hmm.
because when I was putting together the email to go out about it and, reading the ad and it says, that box in the back of your closet? Like, yeah, I do. I know that box really well. And I've been looking for a reason to go through it. And one of the reasons I hadn't until now is you think about, well, who am I going to take it to? Oh, I have
Hmm.
to find an appraiser. Just the idea is a little exhausting when you don't know anything about it, which I don't
Right.
know anything about it.
Hmm.
So what a great opportunity when this came up because your relationship with Nelson Coleman Jewelers, and they've
Hmm.
been a sponsor of the BMI for a long time, and just a
Hmm.
fixture in the Baltimore area. Why I didn't think of it before, I'm not sure, but yeah. So I was really daunted by the idea of having to go through all of that old jewelry that I had. But I took the weekend and I went through it all, and it really wasn't as bad as I thought. There was a lot of junk that I knew I could just set aside. And then I put together. I have a bag of silver. I guess
Okay.
you do that, and I
Hmm.
have a bag of gold. And from what I read, you're certainly interested in some gold.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I will also tell you that all of the things that maybe you inherited from, your mother, who maybe inherited it from a great aunt or something like that, that's the kind of stuff that we're really, really looking for that I get to pay a lot of money for. Um, I had a lady come in from the BMI because this has been running for about a week and a half at this point. And over the course of 2 different days, I actually paid her about $6,000.
Wow. You're not going to get that from me.
Well, that's okay. But she ended up having, a lot of those things like, that stuff that she inherited from her grandmother and that sort of thing. Because when I can resell something and it's a hot commodity, it's something that people want, I can pay more money for it. So obviously, I want to pay you as much as I can because 10% of whatever I pay you is going right back to the Baltimore Museum of Industry. So
Yes.
I want to be able to pay everybody as much as I can.
Thank you very much for that.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do it.
Okay. Well, so do you want to get started or
Sure. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Let's get started.
so what do you want to see first? I have again silver, I've got some gold, and
Okay.
then I have some watches.
Okay. So, do you know if the watches are gold?
They are not.
Okay. So, a lot of times, just for anybody who's watching, if you don't know if your watch is actually gold or not, if you turn it over on the back of the watch will actually say something like stainless steel or 14K. So, you want it to say 10K or 14K or 18K. So, that's how you would know if it was gold or not.
Um, Also, for watches, in this
Hmm.
case, I have a number of them that would need basically an estate appraisal.
Okay.
And that is not what you're offering right now, right? I would end up needing to pay for that.
So, documented appraisals that you would need to put something on your insurance policy, for instance, if you wanted to insure your jewelry, your insurance company is going to require very specific things. So, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get an idea of people who are looking to just flat out sell the pieces that they know they don't want. For the people that want actual documented appraisals, that is a totally separate service, and it has very specific guidelines that needs to be followed so that you can put it on your insurance policy. So that's the kind of thing that someone is going to need to pay for, but it's a little bit different than what we're doing today.
Okay, so then we don't need to deal with the watches at all.
Okay.
Why don't we just let's just start with some gold.
Sure.
In my bag. All right, and I'm using my phone the same way you would be with anyone for doing these
Yeah.
appraisals. I
Right.
noticed that that my computer, the camera, the quality when I put something really up close to the camera wasn't very good. And you'll have to
True.
tell me when you can see it.
Yes, that's gorgeous. And your camera on your phone is so great because it allows me to see detail on the rings, and that's the perfect angle. So it's great. That is definitely something that I would be interested in purchasing. Absolutely.
So when I was young,
Mhm.
I worked at the Maryland Renaissance Festival,
I love Renfest. Yay.
and at the time, you know, it was a weekend job, and I worked for a jeweler, and I let her pay me in jewelry.
Nice.
So, right. So that's what this is from.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of the stuff I'll show you is from the Maryland Renaissance Festival.
Well, that
Mm.
sounds like the perfect job, actually, especially when you're younger and it's a summer job. How fun was that?
It was a lot of fun. We
Yeah,
got to dress up and look at jewelry.
that sounds like what I want my everyday to be like.
Well, you get to appraise jewelry all day, right?
I do, but I don't necessarily dress up to do it.
So I also have some gold earrings.
Oh, perfect. Now, were those from the Renaissance Festival also?
Yes, yes.
Great. Yeah, those are cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would
And
definitely buy those.
you know, I've had these things for, oh goodness, if I stop to think about it, would have been, it's, you know, 30 years.
Oh, you've been
30
hanging on
years
to these things for a while.
I have. And here's another one. This is a beautiful necklace.
Oh, that is gorgeous. I love
Also,
that pattern. That's really pretty.
they do some really beautiful work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's an example of the kind of thing that I could resell. So I can give you more money for that because I could resell it and make more money when I resell it to somebody.
Let's see. And let's see, what else have I got? Uh, some gold with the, move it close to the camera, gold with a pearl.
That's beautiful. It's got a very Art Nouveau kind of design to it. Yeah, I like it. That's gorgeous. Again, that's definitely something that I would resell so I can give you more money for it.
Okay. So that's the Renaissance Festival gold.
Cool.
Here's something. I was given this by an old boyfriend, and I
Mhm.
was informed that it was white gold. Not that I believe that necessarily. So how would I tell, or do I need to send it to you to find out?
Yep. So there's a difference between silver and gold, especially when it comes to price. So gold is about 10 to 11 times higher than silver actually is. So I would actually need to test that and see if it's actually white gold or silver. And if it's white gold, I can test it and let you know it's white gold. Now, the way that we can do that, because it's going to factor into the second stage of what we do, the first stage is just, us kind of looking at the jewelry and sort of kind of paring down what's saleable and what isn't. And the second part of this is that I physically do need the jewelry because I do need to test it. I'm going to need to see if it's 10 karat gold versus 14 karat gold versus 18 karat gold, because there's more gold in those different purities, and therefore I pay you more money based on the type of purity that something is. So if it's 18 karat gold, it has more actual gold in it, and I pay you more money for it. But I'm going to have to test it to figure that out. And the same thing with gemstones. I don't want to, not pay you for a diamond when you actually have a diamond, but I've got to test it to make sure that it actually is. So at some point, I'm going to need these pieces, and we can do that because my office is in Towson. So I can either pick it up from you, or you can come to my office and sit here while I do it, and then we can talk about all of the pieces too. So either way is fine. And I've even had pieces, people who from the museum lived in Annapolis, and I just sent them a shipping label, and they just sent it to me. So there are various ways to go into stage two, but we can do any of those things.
I'd be happy to ship it to you,
Okay,
and
that's
and then
that's easy then.
and then you open it on camera with me, and we look at it together, right?
Yep, I set up just another either FaceTime call or a Zoom call, and I open the box with you on camera so that when we open up that box, you make sure that all of the pieces that are in that box are the ones that you put there to begin with.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Since you're talking about carrot, I
Yeah.
have something maybe a little odd to ask you about, and that is, in a past life, I worked as an artist, and this is 22 karat leaf that
Oh, yes.
we used on murals,
Yes. Hmm.
little sheets of gold, and I've held on to them partly because we just overbought a little bit, and they're really pretty, but I don't know what to do with them.
um, Generally, that's not really in a usable form that I can send to a refinery and have them refine out like the actual gold purity. So I think that's probably something that you may have to go into another project and try to use.
I need to find something to gold leaf.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then I have three pieces that came from a trip to Colombia, and
Oh,
I'm
cool.
going to try and get this close to the camera. Can you see? It's an emerald.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, what a pretty ring. Yeah, I can definitely buy that.
And then earrings that went with it. I don't know. Close. There we go. Can you see that? So there's two of them.
Back up a little bit. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Nice. So there's like a gold kind of flower shape around the edges and then the emerald in the middle.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, those are pretty. I can buy those.
I have a little certificate from the mines of Colombia. I don't know if that's
Ooh,
helpful.
cool.
So I don't know if they sold me something real or not, but I have a little certificate to go along with it, whichever way it
Yeah.
is.
Well, luckily I am a graduate gemologist, so I can tell you if it's a natural emerald or a synthetic emerald or any kind of phase in between and what the quality of it is. So it's all
Or
got it covered.
or not emerald. Okay. And finally, for the gold, I have a bracelet. I think this may have even come, I don't quite recall. It may have come from a place like Macy's even.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's gold, so it's gold is gold, right? And that's kind of like a braided bracelet.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All
So,
right.
while we're talking about it, I mean, I will tell you that just like I said, if I can resell something, I can pay you more money for it because I'm going to get more money for it when I actually resell it. The market has a lot to do with this. It's kind of like the stock market. The stock market just goes up and down all of the time. Well, jewelry is kind of like that too. So, what's fashionable and not fashionable, or hot or not hot, factors into the market. And so, there are some things that I'm not going to be able to resell as an actual usable piece of jewelry because people aren't going to buy it right now. It's not it's not marketable right now, but it's still gold and you're still going to get a lot of value for it because then I can send it to the refinery and the refinery can recycle it. So there's a lot of things that kind of go into play with all of this, but we're going to talk about that we're going to talk about all of that after I get everything and start testing it. But that bracelet is going to be one of those things that I'm probably not going to be able to resell, but that's going to go to the refinery to be recycled.
Okay. My mother actually asked me if, how about getting all the gold melted down and made into something else that you like?
Yeah.
And that sounded like a lot of work to me.
So that concept basically does work into all of this because when I sell something to the refinery, that is what the refinery is doing. They're melting it down and they're making it into gold coins for the mint or gold bars for the mint, or it gets sold back to the jewelry industry to make other things out of. So then what happens is I give you that money that you would get from melting it basically, and then you use that money to buy anything that you want. So it's not necessarily that you're using, the exact, you lost one earring and you want to melt one earring and turn it into something else. Because most of the time there's not enough gold in those tiny little pieces to actually do that with. But you can do that. It just kind of comes in a different way than what we think it comes in. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll let her know. Okay, I pulled out some silver here. This is also from the Maryland Renaissance Festival.
Oh, again, very, very pretty. Kind of a Art Nouveau-ish in a Lord of the Rings kind of way.
A little bit before the movies, but pretty much. So amethyst is my birthstone. So this stuff
me
is,
too.
oh yeah, amethyst and silver. I have earrings to go with it.
Ooh, those are pretty. Wow.
Cool.
I bet those look dynamite on you.
They did, but when I was young, I was willing to tolerate the pain
Right.
with wearing them. Where as I got older, this is not worth it.
Agreed.
Always been sensitive to metals, and
Yeah.
finally I've just given up. I haven't found anything, so that's part of why I'm happy to let some of these things go.
I understand. Yeah. And our styles change as we get older too.
So do you buy silver?
I do. Yes. Yep, I buy silver jewelry. I also buy silver coins and all of the silverware that everybody's just collecting dust in everyone's house. I've been buying complete sets of people's silverware too. Oh, those are pretty. Again, I can bet that looked really good on you, but they look kind of heavy, so I can imagine that they would hurt. Oh, those are pretty too. You've got a lot of really, yeah, you have a lot of really pretty jewelry, Lori.
Thank you. And I haven't worn it in years and years and years.
Well, one of the things that I really like to do is those are gorgeous. I like to get these pieces, if you're not going to wear them, into the hands of somebody who's going to love them again. Because we bought all of this because we loved it and it was making us happy. So if it's not making us happy anymore, it should go to somebody else and make them happy.
That's how I feel too. Nice amethyst and silver rings.
Very pretty. Yep.
I wore these every day when I was a teenager and in my 20s.
Yep. Great. Yeah, this is all, like every single piece that you've shown me is the kind of thing that I would love to be able to put into the hands of somebody else who will give it a nice, happy home. Those are really pretty earrings. You like dramatic earrings.
Yes, they were a lot of fun.
Cool.
Well, that's the end of the show. That's what I have.
Oh, well, perfect. Great. Now remember also, any kind of broken chains that you have, or if you lost the match to an earring, or if you had a stone, or if you had a ring and you already pulled the stone out, like all of the settings, all of that stuff is still stuff that you can sell to me, because that I can kind of melt down and turn into other things. So the little bits and pieces add up, which is essentially how this one lady ended up with like over $6,000 worth of jewelry that, she ended up selling to me, because a lot of them were like, single earrings that she lost the match to, like, 15 years ago, and just kind of threw it in the jewelry box and didn't know what to do with it.
I haven't inherited things from my grandmothers yet. My mother still has all of that stuff. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, the other thing too is you can also restyle it. So if you don't like the style that it's in right now, you can pull out a stone and put it into something else, or you can turn, a ring into a pair of earrings, or, something like that. And it's always interesting to be able to restyle those family items that you're not ready to give up yet, but you still don't want to wear. And I can help you do that too.
So now I'm looking at all of this laid out, and I really did have good taste all those years ago, didn't I?
Yes, you had great taste.
So the next step is for me to put this all in a bag in an envelope and send it off to you in the mail.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna email you a shipping label, and then all you have to do is like put all of that stuff into an envelope or a box, and then put the shipping label on it. You don't even have to take it to the post office. You can literally put it right on your doorstep, and your postal worker will pick it up from your doorstep and make sure that it gets to me. And everything is fully insured, so you
That's
can't.
that's really impressive.
Yeah. So you can't there won't be any point in time where you ever have to worry about anything, because everything's insured from the time that it leaves you to the time that it gets to me.
Wow, well, that's great. And I look forward to finding out whether these emeralds are real emeralds
I'm sure
and
they are.
how much I can help make for the BMI.
Yeah, I love being able to do this. I want to be one of those companies that helps give back. So I am very, and the BMI is one of my favorite museums personally anyway. So I'm very happy to be able to raise money for them. So thank you for doing this.
Well, thank you. And I'm sure I am looking forward to finding out what everything is. And if people are interested, we'll probably do a little recording so we can find out what everything is together.